Welcome to MyTube, the show where I talk about my life experiences and share my life stories. And usually I just pretty much rant from the most recent of history. It's mostly me talking about things that happened earlier in the week or about a week or so ago. So this time I thought I go a little deeper. I thought, and listen, you can hear the train. It goes all day, but it's disturbing all night as well, just like I stated previously. Anyways, let's go a little deeper into my life. Um, there are some, and I wish I would have shot this last night as I was feeling it more, and it would probably would have come out a lot better. But we'll see how this goes. There are some stuff, and not a whole lot, and it's not that big of a deal. Like these things that are not things that affected other people. There are some regrets in life, okay? And like I said, nothing that affected other people. I didn't hurt anyone. I didn't screw anyone over. I didn't mess with anyone else's health or safety or anything like that, okay? Not to that extent. But my biggest regret in life is not being prepared for adulthood after high school, not being prepared to advance in life. And it was because throughout my childhood, I never really thought about what my future was gonna be. I never prepared for that future. Even in my high school days, which is where you're supposed to consider things and have goals for the next several years once you graduate. I didn't do that. I really didn't know what my interests were, and or my talents or some hobbies that I can use to for my future goals. I didn't have any of that. And that's my regret. It's not being prepared for life after high school, life as a grown adult. I wasn't, um, which is why it took so long for me to actually start living as an adult. I ain't gonna lie. I was pretty much just at home being a useless hobo up until in my late 20s. Um, because I didn't know. I did not know it was too late. Okay, so when I got to college, I just decided to study anything, whatever. It wasn't completely interested. I was probably 25% into it, and I didn't give it my all. Why? Because I didn't care to accomplish this. It was just going to college for the sake of going to college. I wasn't interested in it full course. I wasn't into it 100%. I wasn't, and it affected it. And do I have that regret? Of course, because I wish I knew prior what I know now. I wish I had figured out what I really truly enjoyed doing. Okay, I wish I knew it. I wish I knew right before I went to college that I was what I would want to do is something in relates to writing, creative writing. I wish I had known that, but I didn't because there was other distractions in life, and nobody's fault but mine because I got myself distracted by things that at the end of the day did not matter. Okay, so that's the biggest regret in life is not being prepared for adulthood right after high school once I became adult. Is a few of it on my parents? You're damn right it is because they should have prepared me better for life. They should have set me straight. They should have spoken to me and advised me all this before. They should have told me. They should have made sure I was good and ready to take on the world once I turn 18, or maybe that's beforehand. They should have. So yes, a lot of that is on my parents, but a lot of it is on me too, because I did not have those goals. I didn't. So if I can keep that in my mind, if I can recall that, I will advise my daughter when she's at a certain age in her high school days. I will advise her to start kind of taking notice of what her interests are and try to see if she can work that into a living, or try and work that into goals that will make her successful in life. That would be the advice I will give her when she turns, I don't know, about 15, 16 years old, so I can prepare her a few years before she steps out in the world after high school. That hopefully I'm able to advise her. I say hopefully because I don't know what my thought process is gonna be, when that time comes. That's so many years from now. But yeah, that's my biggest regret. Because now, why do I regret it? Because now here I am. I have a family. I have a 3-year-old daughter. I have my wife and I are together. We live together. It is my responsibility to take care of them. Nobody else's responsibility but my own. Okay? I am the one who told my wife that I would take care of her. Nobody said that but me. Nobody promised her that but me. Okay? So don't go and thinking, well, she can, help out as well. No, that's not what we agreed upon. So unless we have a talk and things change, it doesn't matter. Things could still change in that element, and I'm not gonna get into it, right? But my point is, right now, it's my responsibility to take care of them, most especially my child, because she cannot go and find work herself. So here I am in a job that I'm underpaid and have other struggles with, and I have issues and issues and issues with, day in and day out, week after week, month after month, day after day. Issues and issues, stress and stress and stress. Okay, if over 10 years ago I had prepared, if I had known what I wanted to do, if I knew and set goals, then my life, and set out to accomplish those goals and set out to do that, then my life right now will be different as far as what I'm doing for a living, and I will probably wouldn't be in this job where it's a stress and it's a struggle. I will be probably more successful in life. Okay, I'm assuming. Okay, so chance that it would be like that. Okay, but also other stuff about myself. I've always been socially awkward. I have been. I'm telling you, I'm being honest. Okay, always had problems socializing with other people. I'll give you an example. I remember this. I was in elementary school, probably in the second to third grade. I think it was second grade. So whatever age you're in when you're second grade, was 7, 8 years old, who knows, around that age, or around that time frame. So this was so many years ago, right, in the 90s. So my mom takes me to school. We're outside of the class, waiting for the time for class actually starts. Maybe we're about maybe 10 minutes there waiting. During the early minutes that we're there, nobody else has their parents there. Everyone's just playing around, walking around, playing, whatever. Maybe one or two other children have their parents with them, including myself. Um, there's probably about two kids or that I didn't know, or maybe I knew from a close distance, like maybe I recognized them from class, but I was kids that I didn't really talk to. Okay, so they asked if I want to join whatever game they were playing or whatever, and my mom said it was okay, but I said no, I didn't want to. Like, so I just stood there. Like, that's what I'm talking about. I had no social skills and no social abilities. I had none. To this day, I struggle to have communication with people that I'm not familiar with. Okay, I don't know what it is. It's this over nervous system that's too too much. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I know I probably have some issues that I have to deal with, and yes, it's gotten better over the last 5 to 6 years, but it was a problem, believe me. And I recognize it. I recognize that this was an issue of me being. I recognize it now as an adult. Of course, I did not recognize it back in those days. Not only that, but I was intentionally rude to people, and I still can be for no apparent reason. Okay, if I don't know you and you try and talk to me, that annoys me, and I'll end up saying something that's unnecessarily rude. That's who I am. I don't have the social skills because to me it's like, leave me alone. I don't need to talk to you if I don't know you. If you don't know me, don't try to talk to me. Speak when spoken to has always been my mantra. Okay? And there's some whole other examples. I can go through stories, short stories after short stories, and tell you all these situations where I you can't understand my socially awkwardness, but I'm just talking about it because I felt it. And like I said at the start of the video, if I would have recorded this last night, it probably would have come out a lot better. Okay, but last night I was too busy, but this was in my head. But I was busy doing other stuff. I just couldn't do it last night. I wish I would have done it last night because I think there was more in my head about these things than there is now, but it is what it is. So I guess I didn't really put out the point there. Maybe you didn't understand. Socially awkward in the point where I wouldn't socialize or refuse to socialize. And like other children, they're normal children, and they go and play with other kids that they don't know. That's normal stuff that children do. I wouldn't do that if I didn't know the child. um the kids, I wouldn't play with them. That's just weird, I think. um I don't know what was up with me during those days. um if I don't know you, I don't know if it's a trust issue or a that's a stranger issue. I don't know what it is. I still don't know. But it's not only that. It's not only me. Maybe thinking that they're lower than me. I don't know what it is. But I do know that it's not just that. It's not just me. Oh, I don't want to play with them or whatever. Hang out with them later in life when I'm older and it's not playing. So it was also, if I did, um I don't know, I get overly nervous around people. So like, I don't know, especially people with authority, like teachers, um I don't know, staff workers at a grocery store, or my boss, or whatever thing is. Anyone in authority kind of makes me nervous a lot more than they should. I mean, it's not fear, it's just, I don't know, maybe their authority-ness. I don't know what it is. But it's not only that, but random people. that would try to talk to me at school. I couldn't talk. I wasn't a sociable person. I couldn't talk. I couldn't talk. I could not talk. Either I would couldn't get the words out, or I would just freeze, and not be able to communicate with kids. I don't know. Like I said, I'm totally socially awkward. I guess I wouldn't, express myself. Maybe I had trouble saying what I wanted to. Maybe my mind would freeze and I couldn't really say what I wanted to. I don't know, was it fear of what I was gonna say, be judged, or was it just not caring? I don't know, but I question all these things about my life. Socially awkward, um, not playing with kids, couldn't talk to people, in large crowds, I couldn't talk to people as well. I don't know if unless I really kind of knew you, then I could. But strangers, I mean, it's even worse. I don't know what the point of this is. Like I said, it probably would have come off better if I taped this last night. Which is why I had to meet my wife online on the internet, because I wanted everything at the beginning of us, the stages of getting to know each other and communicating via messages. A lot of those things I would not be able to tell her, face to face, because of my, I don't know, social anxiety or whatever it is. I would not be able to tell her a lot of those things. I would not be able to share. So I guess also before meeting her, I had these online social friends that I guess uh, I could have friends online because it was easier to talk to. Um, and not that I didn't have friends in person, it just was a different kind of friendship. I can share feelings of stuff that I couldn't share with my real life friends. So I guess social anxiety, um, or something of that nature is part of it. I don't know. I'm just trying to get inside the psychology of my head during those times. Nowadays, I've gotten better the past few years at socializing with the unknown, socializing with strangers. I guess because of work, there's a lot of strangers that will randomly be around and I will talk to, for a while. And I didn't get social anxiety then. So maybe it's I got in better with it with adulthood or with life experience. But I still kind of have somewhat of a social anxiety. I don't know what else to call it. Socially awkwardness. Um, it still plays a role a little bit in my life, but it's not as major as 10 years ago or even before that. So yeah, that's just some stuff I wanted to share with y'all real quickly. And this is MyTube. Usually I rant on other people in my life. I really had no reason to rant today. I just wanted to share those experiences with you all, just to have a show and just to talk about me in a more personal level and more deeper level. Because usually I'll just mention it in a sentence or two and then really just I really don't talk to like in great detail about my life, and probably a lot of it is to protect the feelings of other people. Like I don't want to say bad things, anything negative, too much to a certain. I don't want to cross lines where we talk say things that are even if factual in my opinion. I don't want to say anything that's hurt too much of other people, like my brother or my parents or my sisters or whoever else I may talk about. So it's very limiting. The same thing, I don't want to hurt my wife or anybody else, a friend or whatever. So uh, unless they're pretty much out of my life then I can rant on them, for a long time. Because I don't care, they're not my life anymore. But and they're pretty much still in my life. And my family's always gonna be in my life, so that ain't gonna change until they die or I die. So it's pretty much gonna be the same way all the time. So yeah, it's pretty much I did this one because, like I said, I never go too deep into my psychology in my childhood or anything like that. So I thought, this one's just on me. It doesn't really talk about anybody else. So I can go a little bit more deeper into this discussion because there's no other parties involved. Okay, it's just me telling you I have social anxiety or socially awkward moments, and the regrets of my life, it really doesn't put anyone else down. Um, so yeah. Anyways, maybe I really went too long. I don't know. Maybe this has a lower tone than usual rant videos on MyTube. Maybe something different. Go back to just ranting and cutting promos on the next one. Thanks for listening, and you all have a you all have great last days of the year. You know you know what I'm saying. Enjoy the last days of the year, and let's have a great start to 2021, hopefully. Good night, y'all.